time for a Power 5 school, potentially to travel there. What are your thoughts on the game, and how do you attack that?
It was a hard-fought game here last year. They returned almost their entire team. Coach Goodenough, as long as Coach Goodenough's there, they're going to be hard-nosed. They're going to be well-prepared. This is somebody who I've known for a number of years in our Oklahoma days, back when she was at Oklahoma State. So I expect exactly the same type of game we had here last year. Every possession contested, every pass, every dribble, every shot. So I know it's a big game for them getting a Power 5 to come there. There's a reason it's never happened before. Because it's a really difficult place to play. So, great challenge for us. I think I saw where they popped into the mid-major top 25 this week. They have a new mid-major poll that a bunch of coaches vote on, and I think I saw them pop in there at 25. So, great challenge for us. We'll have to have 2 really good days of prep, and then we've got this uncertainty of this winter storm, and that always gets everybody a little bit anxious. So, lots of distractions, but hopefully we'll handle our road game as good as well as our men did last night.
Coach, just talk a little bit about your defense. We talk a lot about scoring points and everything, but
sure.
How your defense was able to play the other night.
It's something that Coach Schaefer talked about that last summer a lot. We didn't spend a whole lot of time last year on the other team. We focused a whole bunch on us, and he, I think rightfully so, made the observation that if we'll just spend a little bit more time in practice, we can significantly improve our defensive readiness. So if y'all go out there to practice today, I'm leaving to go recruit and turning it over to him. That's how much confidence I have in him. That's how much confidence our team has in him. He's as good a scouter and preparer as there is, and I've given him more time. It's pretty much that simple. We've worked on it a little bit more. I think our kids obviously are more comfortable with what we're doing as well. And we're a little deeper and a little more athletic. So it looks better, but we do spend more time on it than we ever have before, and that's a credit to his observations and then his ability to get them prepared.
Obviously, Chelsea Dungy is scoring at a great clip for you.
Yep.
What do you feel like has helped her to just kind of settle in and be, I guess, more comfortable?
I think overall trust of all the other teammates, knowing which shots we're going to accept and which ones are not the best shot every possession. She's done a really good job of taking coaching in the film room, as have Mal and Bailey and Jalen, that core group that's playing. Our first 4 or 5 games, we judge our shot value. In our first 4 or 5 games, we would probably only about 60 or 70% of our possessions get the best shot. Now we're up to around 80 to 85% of getting the best shot. And when she takes shots that are open, I mean, if y'all are like me, I expect it to go in. You're shocked kind of when it doesn't. So she's getting comfortable. It's a hard transition going from being the practice player that she was last year. I think it takes you a few games after you've been out for a year. So she's in a good flow. She's in a good rhythm. And I think that's that type of kid that we all saw on the summer circuit and in USA basketball 2 or 3 years ago that can dominate a lot of different matchups and be a really explosive scorer.
You talked about some of the distractions and then also knowing that the Nebraska game's coming up after that.
Yeah.
What goes into making sure that they don't overlook an opponent with everything that's going into this?
A really good film session. It's easy. Those guys, it doesn't take any CGI to make those guys look good. There's plenty of evidence that they can play. And the video that Jeff put together, our kids are smart enough to know when they look at that film and see what they see. So they'll see it today, and as soon as they see it, there will be no looking forward to anything other than making sure we get to Abilene safely, and they've got our full attention. They've got quality players. They've got a good system, and players know players. I mean, I think you can fool a lot of kids. My papa always said you can't fool kids and you can't fool dogs. You can't fool these kids with film. You show it to them and they're going to see it, and that's what I think is a sign of a mature team, and I think our kids have that now.
Just how much have you guys learned about playing on the road with these games you've had, and hope that keeps transitioning into playing better on the road?
I don't think we've got it all figured out, but we've got a lot of the nuances. We know who rooms together well, how long we need to have shoot around, how early we need to leave, how much time we need at the hotel. Certainly learning from our mistakes. We still don't have it all figured out, but I think the fact that we've done it a lot is it makes me sleep a lot better. And I know the players are getting more comfortable with it, and our routines are a little bit better.
Just more on Abilene and what they like to do and some of the keys to them.
Yeah, they can score inside and out. They're very, very balanced. They're kind of a systematic defensive team. They're not going to necessarily try to take it from you. It's one of those games where if you're a player, you know exactly what the scouting report's going to say. Because they're going to play to our tendencies. They're going to take away our strengths and make us go to plan B and C. That's a product of how Julie has always built her programs. And they're not going to beat themselves. They're going to eliminate losing in their preparation, and you've got to go down. You've got to take it. You've got to take it away from them if you want to try to get out of that place with a win. I think Paul's got one. Oh.
Go ahead.
Just wanted to ask about Alexis Tolliver. I know she's struggled shooting the basketball, but is some of that other things?
It's preparation. I mean, it's other teams know now. Before there wasn't. Not everybody knew her. Not everybody went down to Jones, Mississippi to watch the kid play and see that she could make it. And now there's 9 games of evidence. But the other evidence that I have is how many shots she continues to make in practice and how many she's made over the course of the year. And the one thing I want players to always know with us is if you've done that hard work during the summer and you go through a little bit of a slump right now, it's going to equal out. She's going to get on a roll where the numbers come back around. Numbers usually don't lie over the course of a year, and I've got tons and tons of evidence from Italy and tons of evidence from the first month of the season that she'll figure it out. She has at every level she's ever played. She did it in high school. She did it in junior college. She'll do it here, and I've got the utmost confidence in her. Hey, it's not easy when you're that kid that everybody stands up when you shoot it because they think you're going to make it. That's a hard deal, man, because everybody expects it to go in. So I think she's learning through that, but we'll continue to play her and continue to – I'll take her out every time she turns down an open shot. You watch. She knows that. That's why she keeps shooting it, and she knows if she turns one down, I'm bringing her out, not if she misses.
Do you feel a little more comfortable about a rotation at this point?
I think we're getting there. I said it at the first part of the year. I'm not very good at 10 or 11 people. I'm just not. I don't have a lot of experience doing it, so I'm not as good at it maybe. And those things have a tendency to work themselves out as you start to play through the course of a season. It's obviously you can't take Bailey Zimmerman off the floor for very long and not impact your offense and your defense. And Jalen Mason's that type of kid too. So we are playing some lineups that now I think as we start to get into the SEC season, you'll see the rotation tighten up a little bit. Knock on wood, we've still not had anything that's precluded us from being able to do that.
Coach, you also have 2 players who are getting ready to graduate here in December.
Yeah.
Could you maybe just talk a little bit about what that takes to be able to do that?
Yeah, I have no personal knowledge of how you could possibly graduate in 3.5 years. I was here for 7 years in college and have 1 degree, so can't speak personally on how they were able to do it, other than that Miss Lisa in our academic department is absolute one of the very best at what she does, and she's on these kids, and there's so much help in the academic support system that if a kid is motivated, they can certainly get done in 3.5 years. And I know they both are really looking forward to getting that patch. In the SEC, I think that's one of the coolest things the SEC does, puts that patch on graduates. They actually had the reception last night, and Bailey was the senior speaker for women's sports, and she delivered an outstanding speech that was very even though I've only got a chance to coach her for 2 years, you see why she is the way she is and what she's been through. And Mal to do it, y'all know how silly Mal can be. But she really buckles down. She's to graduate in 3.5 years from any university, much less this one, I'm in absolute awe of, again, because it took me twice that long.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, y'all bet.